I'm glad I stopped myself. Okay, so Kayla, if you could just unmute yourself and share your story, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, hey y'all. Sorry if I stutter. I feel like I always stutter on these things, so we're going to do that. But I just want to share with y'all like some of my, I guess, like best tips recently, as well as like some like old tips as well. So we're gonna start with recent tips. So as far as like messaging and stuff, like I feel like so many people are scared of messaging when they first start out. They're so scared of like doing like the first step in like stuff like that, posting, messaging, and everything like that. You have to do that. Like, it's no question asked. Like, you have to do that. As far as that goes, don't be scared. If you message someone, they don't reply, message them the next day. Did I catch you at a bad time or something like that? That's like literally one of the best tips I have. Did I catch you at a bad time? If they don't respond then, they don't respond to like your first message, and then like you text them that, and then they're probably not going to respond to like any message you probably, and then you can unfollow them or whatever. But that is probably my best tip about messaging is, did I catch you at a bad time? I feel like we all do that. Chyann does it. I feel like Shay does it. Everybody does it. So did I catch you at a bad time? But as far as like me going triple in like my story, as y'all know, like I was a super busy person. If y'all don't know, like sorry, I feel like I started a lot. But I had a full-time job as I worked at a boutique full-time, and then I taught dance part-time, but that literally consumed my life and everything. But I feel like I've been like more full-time ever since then, even because this business has allowed me to quit the boutique and everything. But like I feel like I've been more busy since then, but it's like definitely not an excuse. And I feel like that's a lot of like misconception about this business. Like, you can't do any job with this business. Like, people think like when you join, like, oh, like especially when you join like higher up, like people like they're higher up, like, oh, they just do this business, blah blah blah. Not true, not at all. Like, y'all definitely can do other things while doing this business. Like, I teach dance part-time still. I do literally so many things with this business still, and I still do this business, and I'm still able to be successful in this business. So that's one thing like I want to focus on, being a part of like my story and everything. Like, this past year, I can't believe I've been like in this even like a year or anything. Like I didn't even think like I would be here at this moment. Honestly, it's so crazy. Like, to me, like I wouldn't even think like I would be here right at this second, looking at like my wall, like in this chart, like everything, like I would not even think at this second. So like the people that are at the bottom, like right now, like not even the bottom, like, so I mean, but like the start of it, like right now, you never know where you're going to be in, sorry, where you're going to be in a year. You never know where you're going to be in like 6 months. So when I started or whatever, I promoted to Ruby, and like, which is the first rank in the company. If you didn't know, if you're new, I promoted to the first rank in the company. In my first month, I promoted to the second. In my second month, I promoted to diamond in my third, which is basically like the income you can like live off of, basically, with It Works and whatever diamond is. And I promoted to that with my third month. In my 6th month, I promoted to double. And then my 9th month, I promoted to triple. I literally worked my butt off. I feel like there's a very misconception about my story and everything, that people think that, like, I don't know, like, just because I have a following on Instagram, you could say, like, or like how I post and stuff like that. A lot of people that join me have that question. I'm so sorry. I just ate dinner and I'm about to cough. But I feel like there's a very big misconception about like of my following and everything and how I've been successful in this business. And I feel like I have adapted from that, but I feel like, I don't know, Shay started from high school. She started with like what, like, I don't know how many followers, but barely like anything. And like, she's she's over 10K now. And like, there is no excuse from anyone that everybody's story is different and everybody's story is like, it's very different. So you can be successful in different ways. So it doesn't matter who you are and who you're from or who you're like coming from or your social media standpoint. Like, you have a different story. So it doesn't matter. It's how you relate your story to your social media. It's how you, basically, like, I mean, like I just said, like how you relate it, how you tell your story on your social media and everything. And that's how I try to tell my story on my social media and everything. And I do get questions on like, oh, you have so many followers like that, blah, blah, blah. That's probably how you're successful. It's not true. If I did not like post on my story every day, if I did not post on my page every day, or at least try to, or whatever, I would not have the, like, I guess, like, outcome of, like, me enrolling, like, customers. I wouldn't have the outcome of me enrolling distributors and stuff like that if I did not do that every single day. And so it does not honestly matter how many followers you have at this certain point. It does not matter how many people, like, see your page at, like, or how many likes you're getting. It does not matter. It's how much you're putting into, like, in the work to actually do the things that you're supposed to be doing every single day. Like, that's what you're getting out of it. And I mean, I know we saw our paychecks from last month, like yesterday or whatever. Your work reflects on your paycheck. And I know that, like, some of us probably were very disappointed in our paychecks last month. And I know that a lot of us think that we could have worked harder to earn those paychecks, but that's what it is. How hard are you going to work to earn that paycheck? Do you deserve that paycheck? Do you, like, did you take off, like, a couple of days or whatever, and, like, you're, like, okay, like, I took off a weekend, yes, it's okay, like, that's what a normal job does, blah, blah, blah. But is that where you're going? Like, is that where, like, you're wanting to go? Like, is that how you're going to move up in this company? Is that how you're going to get out of debt? Is that how you're going to get out of, like, you know, like, all those things that we say? All, like, the things, like, I just bought a car. Like, is that how you're going to, like, get, if you're wanting, like, a dream car or anything like that? Like, is that how you're going to get to where you are? No. You're going to have to do the things every single day. And that's kind of, like, I guess, like, all of us are going to talk about and stuff. Sorry if that took a minute to, like, get to all that. But, but I just, like, getting to everything that has built me up to where I am, it didn't come easy. And I want y'all to, like, really relate to that. Nothing freaking comes easy. And I definitely know that from experience, like, through life and, like, in this business. Like, nothing comes easy. And if you think you join this business and you think it's going to be handed to you, you're wrong. Like, you have to put in the work. You have to want to change your life. You have to want to change your life financially, or whatever you're going to, like, want to do with this business. Like, I joined for a couple $100s. I joined for literally, like, gas money and like to get me to, because if y'all didn't know, I live in Bedford, and that's like 45 minutes away from where I teach dance. I joined for, like, gas money, and I joined for, like, things like my nails and everything like that. If y'all, like, and then I ended up, like, doing so many good things with it, and I ended up buying a car to get me to that place. Like, that's such a bigger thing than I ever imagined, I guess, when I joined. But if you ask, like, one day that I did not put in the work, or I didn't, like, do something to benefit my business, like, post on my story, if I didn't post on my story, if I didn't message every day, if I didn't follow people every day to get more people looking at my page, because if you think 1 second that I yes, I have a lot of people like following me and everything, but if that's enough, it's not, it's really not. If I have to still follow people every single day to get new people to my page and get that new market to my page to actually like grow that interaction and everything. But I guess one thing that goes with being busy and everything, you have to like learn a schedule for yourself. Everybody works this business differently. You can't, even in the person that enrolls you, they're going to work this business differently than you. Like, yes, I teach dance at night, so I am lucky enough now that I work this business like full time from home. But before, I worked at that boutique, and I was able to like post on my story message the night before. I replied to the people the morning of like my day or whatever, and then I would go on. I would drive to the boutique, my work, and then I would reply to people at work or like before I walked in, and then I would go into work, and then at lunch I would like reply to people and post on my story again. And then like after work, in between like dance and everything, I would reply to people, post on my story, whatever I had to do then, post on my feed, whatever you need to do. Like, you have to make a schedule for yourself, because no one has the same schedule. I mean, unless you like enroll your best friend and they're like at the same job as you, that's different. But literally no one has the same schedule as you. So even if your leader is saying like, okay, you have to make a schedule, like this is my schedule, like this is what I do, whatever, you have to make your own schedule. You have to have your like kind of like accountability thing, like of yourself. Like, you have to hold yourself accountable for what you're doing. Set a reminder on your phone set one in the morning for like 9 a.m., like an hour after you wake up or whatever, whenever you wake up, hour after you wake up or 30 minutes after you wake up, message 20 people, like say that in your reminder, message 20 people and post on your story or something like that in the morning. And then at lunchtime, message 20 more people, follow blah, 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 and post on your story, blah, blah. And then like at night, like just do like 3 a day. Like, that's what I do. And then granted, I end up doing more than that a day because it's my job, but you get into that habit of doing it and it creates that habit. And I feel like that's what helps me the most, and my team. I feel like we create that habit is like, okay, you have 3 set motives a day to follow, message, and post. Follow, message, and post. That's literally the 3 main things you need to do every single day. I know personal development is super important. I highly recommend it, because being a positive mind is literally 90% of this business. Like, if you don't have a positive mind, you will not be like successful. Not saying that you won't, but like, you're so much more successful when you have a positive mind. But messaging, following, and posting is the 3 main things that you need to do every single day. Even if you do them once a day, at least you did it once a day. Like, when you're starting up and everything, that's with me. But when you start getting into that habit of, you do it in the morning, and then you do it at lunchtime, and then you do it at night, and then you continue to do it, and then you end up doing it more, and then you end up doing it more, and then it just becomes that habit of you're just working almost. And then, I don't know, that's just me. That's how I work, at least. And host to post has definitely been a very helpful component in my business. I try to preach that to my team very, very much too, just because it literally just grows your market even more. Like, if you get blocked on Instagram or anything, you have host to post. Guess what? You have a whole different market. Because if you ask someone, like, even if you blocked on Instagram or you get blocked on Facebook, you have someone right there, one follower, that can be a whole 400 other people or more, depends on who you ask, or thousands or whatever, that can post for you. And then there's your old market, like your new market, and then someone else, and it's a new market, and then someone else, a new market. Host to post is golden. If you're not doing host to post, ask your leader about it, because it is golden. Cheyenne, any questions so I can go off of?
No, I think you hit everything. Yeah, I don't know. I think that was good. I'm just like trying to like take notes and everything at the same time. No, I think you hit everything. If you think of anything else like throughout this, text me, put it in the chat, whatever. But you can like we'll share it like at the end or whatever.
Okay.
Okay. And now, Kate, again, you should be able to unmute yourself and then just share your story, and then yeah, we'll just go into your tips.
Awesome. Okay, so yeah, if you don't know me, I'm Caitlin. I started this business when I was, well, it was like 2 years ago, so I was like 22. I think that's right. But my daughter was 10 months at the time, and I was a single mom, and we were living in my parents' basement. I didn't have a job. I would work at the tanning salon for maybe 3 hours a week, but I mean, if it didn't pay anything at all. So we really didn't have much of anything. And one of my friends was like, hey, there's this girl making money off of her phone. Like, let's try. And I was like, all right. And so I signed up, had no idea what I was doing because I didn't really have much of an upline because the girl I signed up with left. And then I was just citing LCs like crazy because that's all I thought there was to it. I was just like, okay, there's something for everybody, so I'm going to have everybody buy something from me. And then Cheyenne saw me on her downline orders, and she was like, I don't know who this girl is, but she's killing it with the LCs. So she reached out and kind of took off. I feel like what's important about my story is it took me almost a year to promote to even Ruby. So it kind of took me a little bit longer than most people. Can you go over? Okay. Sorry. And so I think that's super important because it didn't happen so fast for me. Like I feel like a lot of people now it's a little bit faster moving just because we do have such good trainings and we do have such just more tools now, I feel almost. But it's also important because it's kind of like showing you that, you know, even if you've been in this business for over a year or, you know, coming up on a year, that you can still promote. It's not too late. It's never too late to kind of buckle down and decide what you want. And that kind of leads me into my first point. Hold on. Hey, listen. Can you go in there with her? Can you go in your room, please? No. Please. No. Then you need to stop talking. Sorry, guys, it's past bedtime. It's rough around here. But that leads me to my first point, and it's I don't think I really saw the vision of everything at first. I think that is why it took me so long. I had no idea like what I was doing and where I was going. So what I tell my girls first when they first start, it's like lay out your goals. Have your small goals, have your big goals. Know what you want and put it like right in front of your face. Put it on your screensaver or whatever you want, so that you constantly have something reminding you of where you're going and what you want. And so that's going to make you work that much harder for it. Nobody just, you know, like I don't ever just think, oh, I should send some messages. I'm like, oh, I should send some messages, talk to some more people so that in a month, like I can get 10 more girls on my team. And like I can go and do this with Ella. Like there's always more to it than just like, oh, like let me go work. Like I always try and make it fun for myself. So with that too, like it's always important to have your charts out. It's important to have your team's charts out, and just always be super focused on what's next and don't like just stop when you're somewhere. Always keep going to the next thing. And also with that, like announce to your team, be like, you know what, I'm going presidential this month. You know, you're going to go this month. Always be reminding them too of what they're doing and where they're going, because they're going to follow you. And they're going to follow your vibe. So always keep just like every day, like, hey guys, what are we at today? Like how much GV are we going to get? How much closer to Prez are we getting today? You know, stuff like that. Constantly be announcing to them and the world that you have. I use my hands so much. She is copying me, you guys. This is ridiculous. But thanks, babe. So I think that's super, super important. And then with that too, just a reminder, like, yeah, constantly be pouring into your team and constantly be showing them that, you know, like they should have this positive mindset. If you wake up every day and you maybe get on a team Zoom and you're like, and you're like, yeah, like, my paycheck's going to suck this month, like blah, 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 blah. Like that doesn't pump your team up. Nobody wants to hear that. You need to stay positive and you need to always like be one step ahead of everybody. Like you're allowed to have bad days, but like don't let other people know that. Like they shouldn't be able to tell from your social media that you're slacking that day. And then always like Caila went over to make a schedule to fit your life. That's like the most important thing. I know a lot of people like, maybe they work like 3 days a week and then 2 days they're off or like something like that. For like that kind of situation, like sit down on a Sunday, take an hour, like everybody has 30 minutes or an hour. Take that time and plan out your week. Plan out what day, like you're going to be posting what. If that's like how your life needs to be, there's a schedule for every lifestyle. So you just have to find it to fit you. And I think that once you do have that schedule, like she was saying, it just becomes so natural to you that it's not work anymore and it's fun. You know what I mean? And then she said, be organized, and I have that written down, and then ask everybody that you talk to host a post for you, always. I don't have a conversation with anybody and I don't ever like not ask them. Even if they're signing up to be a customer with me, after we do that, I'm like, awesome. Like, can you post on your wall for me now? And like, if, I need to send you a sample, like whatever. So I'm constantly asking people to host posts. I think that's super, super important just because host post is where it's at right now. And then also a huge tip I have is post, like if you were following yourself, would you want to sign up with yourself? Like, I always think about that when I'm about to post. I'm like, is somebody who's going to see this going to see it and be like, wow, I connect with her? Or like, wow, like that's really cool. Like you always want to post where you're going to be attracting people that are like you. So always have that in mind. Let's see, what else do I tell you? And when you're pushing for promotions, it's super, super important to go back and love on your old customers. Check in with if they have points left and all of that, perk points. So get them ordering stuff because all the volume helps. Go to your family and your friends and just, tell them, like, be super honest with them. Be like, hey, I'm going for this promotion and it's going to do things for me, my life and my family. Like, can you help me? If that like person's your friend or your family, they're going to say yes. So get them to order, get them to host a post, do whatever you can with that. And then along with, I know we kind of always talk about life is happening, but I feel like it's super important to remind you guys all the time because literally life is happening constantly. So life is going to happen. You're going to have things happen. But I told my team this other week, I was like, wow, like all this life is happening around me, but like I still have to pay my bills. Like the people that I turn my bills into, they don't give me grace for a month where like somebody died or, like I went through my breakup. Like they don't say, oh, you know what, that's sad. Like, let me give you this month off to pay your bills. No, like life still is going on. So why not pour into the business that's going to help you where you can take the time where you need to be like doing your own thing, but you still can pay your bills. So it's just always so important. I feel like a lot of people tend to just kind of, stray away from their phones and kind of just like blah and go into hiding when like things are going bad, but you can't let that happen. You have to let that just help motivate you more and pour into your life more. Like this business is always going to be here for you. And I always make it a point to talk about that because life is just crazy and it's constantly happening around you. So just know that it's normal and it happens. And if you need to like talk to somebody about it, just be like, hey, you know what, like I'm struggling with this. It's okay to take a day and just like a mental day, go for it. But you know what, when you come back that next day, you're going to go 20 times harder. Like get in the state where you're always in a good mindset when you're working this business, or it's not going to be fun and you're not going to be successful with it.
Mom, can you get that?
No, but you can. And then with this too, like I swear to you, and Shay always says this, like the reason why we promoted like we did is because we were constantly on Zooms and we were constantly talking to our team. You have to constantly be pouring into your team, constantly checking in with them, be their friends. Like this business is so cool and so fun because we can be friends with everybody, and we can build these relationships. If you're staying up and you're working, if you do it when you're on a Zoom, you're going to actually do the work because you have people doing it with you and you have people who want this for you too. We're excited and we're like, like loving on each other. We're giving each other tips. We're like, hey, like I just had this conversation. It worked so well. You should try it out. Like stay so connected. You should never not be connected. And it's so easy to, like, you can just reach out and be like, even to your upline, be like, hey, I kind of need somebody to be an accountability partner. Can you help find me somebody? Like, everybody loves that. Like, that's what we're all about. And I think that's what makes us so strong. So it's so important to be doing that. And then, yeah, I set alarms, especially like during promotion months and all of that. I'm constantly, because I am a pretty forgetful person. I'm one of those people where you have to like be like, hey, go and do this, and then I'll go and do it. You have to kind of, say that to me. So like for me, it's easy to have that alarm go off on my phone that says, go send 20 messages, or go follow this many people, go do your 6 list, go post for the day. You know what I mean? So take advantage of your alarms, and definitely just like go all out. When you decide, you need to sit down and you need to decide what you want. And when you decide what you want, you just go all in and you go for it. If you are living like just think about the next 5 years. Just live these next 5 years doing this work that people are so scared of and so scared to do. And I promise you, you guys are not going to be living like anybody else for the rest of your life. Like, it's insane. So I always just have that in my head too. Like, just live these next 5 years and just work your ass off, and it's going to pay off. And like, you're not going to have to be worrying about, all the other BS later. And then constantly, like she said, to build your mindset and your personal development. That changed everything for me. When I started wanting this for other reasons than just for me, that opened up so much for me. Can you please stop? And then I also kind of just learned that it's not about like your time, and you can't keep comparing yourself to everybody else. God does have a plan for you, and he has a purpose. And if something doesn't happen, don't get so down about it. Kind of maybe just think about it in a good way. Like, okay, there's a reason why that didn't happen then, but it's going to happen now, because now I'm going all in. Now I'm like preaching it. I'm doing it. And then just keep going forward. And then, yeah, I think that's really kind of all I have. Is there anything else that you think?
No, I love that. I was like, I have a couple of things that I'm going to hit on, like what you said, but yeah, I really like that. I just think like it's so important. And then like, whenever you were just saying like in 5 years, like that just like spoke to me, because I just told myself that like literally the other day. And it was like, if I can work my ass off for 5 years and I'm Black Diamond, like, yeah, I'm going to do that. So it's like, I absolutely love that. But yeah. Also, I meant to say this earlier. If you guys have any questions for any of us, just throw them in the chat, and then here at the end, we will go back and get them, obviously. So, okay, so I just wanted to share, I don't know, just like my journey along with like these tips, just like we're doing. And what I love about like all of these different leaders is like, we are all three so different, but we all bring different things to the table that help. I hope that makes sense. But like, I don't know, like we all three live different lives, but we are all three triple diamond, making 5 figures a month, 6 figures annually. So that's what I just love about this so much. And I'm so glad that we were able to do this, because I know I've already taken stuff from here that it's going to help me. So I really just kind of wanted to go over, like I said, my journey, and then things that I learned along the way that I really truly feel like got me to triple diamond, and then that are now I learned after triple to now get me to prez. So just to kind of like give a backstory, I joined for, this might sound crazy, I just joined for freedom, because like I truly was making enough money to live and save and like do all the things. I think I had almost a 5-figure savings whenever I joined this business. So having money wasn't my thing. And like, I'm very money motivated, but I just truly wanted the freedom. Like I wanted the freedom aspect that Shay had from this. And I just like kind of ran with that. So I did go executive my first month. I did quit because I didn't make $2,000, but that's okay. We're here. I just was like literally expecting that paycheck to be so big, because I thought I put in all of this hard work, which I totally did. Because I mean, I did go executive, but I don't know. It was weird, but like I said, I did quit, and I came back. I guess I don't want to say I quit. I posted, and that was all I did. I posted like maybe once a week, every 2 weeks. I was not doing anything else, but like I definitely told Shay that I was signing all the things. I had no idea she could see that in eSuite, so don't try that, but It's okay. We all do it. And if you don't, then it's okay. I did it for you. So from there, Shay basically called me at conference of 2018 and was basically just like, look, there's an Emerald bonus. You're chartered for Emerald. Just like work with me. And I was like, okay. I was like, $5,000 seems pretty cool. So whatever. And I was like, how do I do this? And she was like, she's like, just follow my lead. Just like, do whatever I'm doing. Like, if I'm going to post, you're going to post. If I'm going to message, you're going to message. And I was like, okay, seems easy enough. And I just like kind of took off from there. I just really locked arms with her and Kate and just truly just took off. I mean, like that was like really the only way to explain it. I was running an auto shipment during that time of a break because one, I loved these products and I just like knew I was going to get a paycheck by running that auto shipment. So, and I was like still getting like fast start bonuses. I don't know how this was all happening, but I was still making money even by like taking that small break. So I'm not telling you guys to do that, but I like saw like an income, even if it was just $100 to $200, like that was helping so much. And that kind of like showed me like, okay, like if I can make this by not doing anything, what can I make when I actually go all in? So I came back from that. I went Ruby in 15 days. So I went Ruby on February 18th. And then I was pushing super hard to go Emerald by the end of the month so I can get that bonus. And I actually ended up not hitting that Emerald bonus that month. But I think I was only like 1,000 away. I was not far, but at that time I didn't realize that like being only 1,000 away from Emerald and a $5,000 bonus is like this. So I just was like, okay, like we'll just get it next month because we already knew that they were going to be extended. So the next month I went Emerald and I earned the $5,000 bonus. I saw my first 4-figure paycheck. A couple months later, I bought a new car. The next month, or in June of 2018, I went Diamond, earned a $7,500 bonus, retired myself from corporate America, like being able to travel, I guess, because I just had all the extra income coming in. And then I went double of September of 2018, which was 11 months into the business. I was making anywhere from like $5,000 to $8,000 a month as a double. And I was able to move into my own apartment that we are in now, moving out very soon, thankfully. It's been a journey, but, and then I went triple diamond March of 2019 and I saw my first 5-figure paycheck and it's truly just because, yeah, I am so picky, Brittany. It's fine. But yeah, so I feel like the lessons that I had learned along the point of hitting double to go triple, that was when it was crucial. So after I went double, I realized after like half of my team left because they all told me that I was super mean, I was like, I'm not mean. And then it was like, no, I'm actually being a real bitch. And I am like so red, and I took my red and I turned it into just being rude and just hurtful and just, I didn't care about anyone. I literally cared about myself. And I just was so rude. Like, I know if y'all are red, you've probably gone through that like same feeling. And I just like literally cared about myself. I didn't care about my team. And I hate to say this because it literally kills me now, but like, I just didn't care. I literally cared about my paycheck and that was it. And it got taken away from me so fast. So, but yeah, so about half of my team left after I went double. And it was just kind of that like wake up call when I was just really like, okay, like what's going on? So I like talked to Shay, and then like Shay, being the yellow heart that she has, was like, maybe we need to like care about people. And I was like, what's that? What? And like, that's really when my whole personal development journey really started, because I wasn't doing it up until that point. And I just really kind of like realized that like, wow, people's feelings matter and it's not just about me. And that was the first like true lesson I feel like I learned in this was you cannot just be selfish. You have to be selfless. And I was being so selfish. I just didn't care about the dreams that the people on my team had. And it just didn't work out. It just was not good. And I really feel like that was like the first thing that like really just like changed everything. And as soon as I just like really started working on myself and like my mind, I always had a pretty positive mindset. Like I was never negative. It was just the whole, like, it was the bulldozing thing, which like, I don't know if that makes sense, but if you are like a red leader, you've probably gone through at a point, or you will go through a point where you will start to feel as if like you're just bulldozing your team. Do not go through that. Take it from people who have gone there and have experienced those things, and just take the lessons that we're giving to you guys. Don't do it. There's no point. So from there, I really just I just started like loving on my team, and I was just being encouraging, and I like truly got with the girls that I knew were going to take me to triple, and I just started working with them, and I just like really started caring about them. And I feel like that was the biggest thing, like, and that's really when I found my best friends in this. Like, I had friends that were either on my team or sideline sisters, but like when I started doing that, that's when I really became friends with the people that are in my downline, and that's what matters. Like, I always had like a really hard time making friends growing up. So like having friends wasn't my thing. And I always just kind of thought that this was work. This wasn't for friendships. Like, I just kind of figured that I wasn't going to have any friends, and that's okay. I had Shay, and that was about it. And then YouTube. And I was just okay with that, because that was what I grew up doing anyway. And once I like actually met, just like a couple, I think it was like 3 girls. I just remember 3 names specifically. But once I just connected with these 3 girls and just really started running with them, it just changed everything for me. It brought me, just by connecting with 3 people that were all in one leg, it brought me leaders within all 3 of my legs that have now taken me to triple diamond, and they're all taking me to prez. So that's just like kind of my first tip. I don't want to say I have a lot, but it all just kind of like goes into my story as well. So like I said, I went double in September, and then I went triple in March. So I started my 90-day push to triple January 1st. I officially charted myself for triple January 4th. I was about 25,000 in volume away, and I was like, we're getting it done. So I never looked at that number, and it never scared me. It never was like, oh my gosh, that is so much volume. I looked at that and I was like, that is growth. That is more money. That is us being able to help more people. And that is just, it just was so excited. And that's when I truly knew that like I was ready to go triple, because like I looked at that number and it just didn't scare me. And like whenever you know you're promoting, that was a moment when I knew I was promoting. I knew that my team was putting in the work to go triple diamond. And then that month, obviously was conference. We ended the month, well, before the charts changed, we were 20,000 away. And then after the charts changed, which if y'all have been in here since maybe before January of 2019, we had like a different comp plan, and our comp plan got freaking amazing after conference. But yeah, and so after that happened, I dropped down to 18,000 volume away. And then from all of February, we got it down to 11,000. And I started March being only 11,000 away from triple. And I just really went all in. And like, this is kind of where like another part happens. My grandpa actually passed away from a very aggressive cancer in January. And like I kind of had the hardest time like dealing with it, only because like I was just so like, I want to spend time with my like grandpa, but like I want to work my business. And it was so hard because like I didn't want people to think that I was just being selfish, because like that was a huge thing I was trying to overcome. And then I didn't want to be heartless by like not spending time with my grandpa, or like different things like that. And then like now, like looking back at it, it's like this business, I was able to spend the time with my grandpa as he was passing away because of this business. I wasn't working. I wasn't going to school because I had dropped out at the time. Like I literally was working in this business full time, and I was able to pay all my bills and go see my grandpa because of this. And I feel like that's like this, like the biggest thing. Like life is going to happen, you guys. Like if you think it's not, then like, I'm sorry, but it is. Like life happens to every single one of us. And it's just really about how you take it, honestly. I mean, like we figured out that he had cancer in December, and I was like, okay, that sucks. And I just really started spending more time with him that I never really had growing up. And like I said, because of this business, I was able to still work from my phone out in the middle of nowhere, spending time with my grandpa because of this. So that's kind of my little tidbit about that. Like I said, it's not going to be like, the promotions are not going to be easy, but they're going to be worth it. And that is just like kind of the biggest thing that I can tell you guys. And like, even like going on back on what Kate said is like, just trust the plan. Like, God has a plan for you. And like, something that I thought I was going to go triple in January, presidential in April, and then I was going to go ambassador in June. And I'm still here in September as a triple diamond, and that's okay. I'm not upset about that, because I know that's a part of my plan. That's a part of my journey. And then I had things that I had to learn from April to honestly August. That month of growth that we had, that just has a season. I'm saying we because I feel like we all kind of experienced some massive growth throughout those months. But like, just honestly, me personally, and then my team, if I can just speak for them, we all went through trials that were so hard for us, but we learned so much in the last months that I know are going to change our lives here in the next couple months. So that's kind of my thing on that. Just trust the plan. Like, you don't know when you're going to promote, but I will tell you that there is a feeling you have literally in your gut. We were talking about it in the leader chat. Like, I think it was Katie, and she was like, I have promotion tingles. And I was like, my belly. I was like, I have them too. And it was just like the most awesome feeling, because like, you just feel a promotion. And that's when I really just like put my head down and just literally did anything I could to make it happen. So just like kind of going along with that, just like, don't let anything hold you back. I really feel like after doing this huge, season of growth that I personally went through, at least, I just learned that I was holding myself back from promoting. I was holding myself back from making the monthly income that I wanted to make. I was holding myself back. Shay wasn't doing it. My team wasn't doing it. Jeremy wasn't doing it, which is my boyfriend, if y'all don't know who he is. No one was holding me back but me. I told myself that I am not worthy of making X amount of money. I told myself that I am not worthy of this and this and this. No one else told me that. I did. And that was just like the biggest realization that I like heard was like, I would go and like start writing down like in my journal. I did the journaling Zooms with Shay in the mornings. I personally do my own kind of journaling, but I still try to hop on those when I can, because I do like the topics, but I just kind of went on my own little like find myself thing. And the way that I journal is like, in the morning, I just kind of like plan out my day. So like for today, for example, I went to church with one of my double diamonds, AJ. I just kind of said like, I'm going to church with AJ today, and I'm so excited to hear what God wants me to hear today. I'm praying for answers for any problems I'm facing. I'm just trying to be open-minded about everything. And then I go in to explain like what my day was, what I'm going to enroll for the day, what my team is going to enroll for the day. And then I write out the characteristics of my leaders, and that is leaders that are in the business and leaders that are not here in the business yet. And I literally just explain their characteristics, that they're caring, they're money driven, they care for others. I know I said that twice, sorry. They want to help others, they're locking arms with their teams, like things like that. And the next one is talking about how our team is the fastest growing team in the company. The teammates are so excited, or our new teammates, which is like new, like distributors and everything. I explain their qualities, and I also explain the qualities of our customers. And I kid you not, you guys, I've been speaking about my customers and how they are so excited to like try these products. I've had so many customers that are like previous, and like even like what Kate was saying, just like come back and order more products and like start new auto shipments. And I was like, what? Oh my gosh. It was like those things when like you write them down and you start seeing them, it's weird. And like, I literally was just speaking that like, my customers are so excited to have their hands on these products and just like really change their lifestyles. Like, not a 90-day challenge. Like, these people are changing their lives. And I've literally had customers that have not ordered from me in months come and restart 90-day challenges. So like, if you're not into like journaling, just try it, honestly. I was not into that. The whole faith thing was really weird for me whenever I first got started with this. It was just a new concept that I was never introduced to before this. And then like journaling does not have anything to do with your religion, what you do or don't believe in, nothing about that. But I like to journal for that reason. So I just feel like just genuinely journaling about your day, about your team, just speaking to your higher power, that's what journaling is for. And it's not for praying to the Lord, or I don't know, like, I just don't want you guys to think that it's like only people who believe can do that. No, that's not what that's for. Journaling is literally just for yourself. And I feel like that's just like super important as well. Just journaling from I think my first one, let's see. My first one was June 19th. And so it's been 4 months, and like literally so much has changed just from that. And it's just like really good to see. So the next thing I wanted to go into is kind of about your money mindset, because that was one of the biggest things that I have learned in these last couple of months that I feel like no one talks about. And I feel like I learned the most from that about myself and about my leadership going through this like money mindset journey. So something that I just kind of want to like put out there, I hope I don't piss anyone off, but if you are not making the paycheck that you want, you are not in line with your money. You are not positive with your money, and you can think it's because of X, Y, and Z reasons, but those reasons are why you are not making the paycheck you want. I hope that makes sense. So something that like I was like reading about is and like even I think it was Dave Ramsey, he was basically saying like if you are not making the monthly income that you want, then you need to work on your money mindset. And I truly feel like that's for anyone that it's before you have money and before you're making that monthly income that you do want, because without that you won't be able to make it. And then after you do have it, how to manage it and then how to grow it. And I have 4 really good books that I just wanted to give you guys to read if that's what you're interested in learning about. I truly feel like if I would have learned about that right whenever I started the business, everything, like, I don't know, like, obviously it all happens for a reason, but like things would have been differently. I can definitely say that for sure. Because like as soon as I got my paychecks, they were spent. And yes, I saved, and yes, I did like I tithed. I started tithing after I went triple, which is like giving back to charities, the Lord, whatever you want to give back to. But everything else, it's gone. I don't know where it's at. It's probably sitting in here with stuff that I decided to buy that was dumb. So the first book that I read that like kind of like showed me all about that was You Are a Badass at Making Money. It's the green one. That's the yellow one. Let's see. It's just like this by Jen Sincero. It really just kind of showed me that like I am worthy of making money, like the money that I desire. And because like that was something that like my parents were like really well off, but it was like money was tight in times, if that makes sense. So that book just really showed me that like just because my parents weren't making tens and thousands of dollars a month doesn't mean that I can't. And that was a really good book that just kind of showed me and like introduced me to the fact that I can make $40,000 a month and it's not weird. So I really feel like that's super important as well. And then the next one was Magic of Thinking Big. And this book just really kind of showed you guys like how to stay positive. This is what it looks like. If y'all like want these afterwards, just like text me or like message me for them if you have it or weren't able to write down the names or anything. But that book just kind of showed me how to have like a positive mindset about everything and about any situation, regardless if it's good, bad, whatever. Just like have a positive mindset, and it just like helped, like I said, overall. And then about leadership things, it just kind of showed me like how to be a leader that is like encouraging and always positive, because I can definitely say that like when things were not going right, I was the first one to say like, well, you're not doing something right. And like, that's not okay. Like you have to be encouraging and like coach people rather than just point the finger at them, because it's hard to point the finger at yourself sometimes. And like, I know that. So I feel like that just kind of shows you like how to coach people in like an encouraging way, which like obviously truly matters. The next book is Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey. He just really kind of shows you his famous little quote is like to live like no one else, you need to live like no one else. And it's kind of just like budgeting and like all those kind of things. So I am super green. So like I said, like if this is something that you're wanting to like go on and like learn about money mindset, this is just what I did. But that book just really kind of showed me like how to budget, why budgeting is important, and like that whole process. And then the book that I actually just read was Secrets of a Millionaire Mind. And when I tell you guys, I've never taken so much out of a freaking book. I got little tabs, each thing, like every other page has a freaking Post-it note of different things. I took so much out of this book. It was Total Money Makeover. Yeah, thank you, Danny. So The Secrets of a Millionaire Mind, you guys, I don't care if you think you have a positive money mindset, start with that book, because that book's not even really about having the money mindset. It's just genuinely about having a poor versus rich mindset, which isn't, poor and rich do not pertain to your bank account. They pertain to your mind. If you have a rich mind or if you have a poor mind. And those books changed my freaking life. I literally read it in a week, you guys. I know, like, on Zoom, I literally would just be over here like with my head so far inside this book. I took so many nuggets from it. I call them nuggets. I hope it's not weird. I took so many nuggets from it, and it just like literally changed my whole life in a freaking week. And I'm like already seeing things that like how, like certain situations that I react to that I wouldn't have reacted to them 6 months ago, if that makes sense. So like I said, that book was literally so freaking good. Okay, so I'm just making sure I hit everything. I know I can talk a lot. So from there, the last thing that I really want to tell you guys is I feel like after I went triple, that was my goal. Like my goal was to see a 5-figure paycheck and was like to be like triple diamond, because like that's pretty cool. Just like, you know, like it's pretty cool. So I never really dreamed far after that. Like, yeah, like I wanted to go presidential, like that'd be cool, like ambassador, like okay. But like triple was just like my goal. I don't know why, but like I feel like we all kind of have that like dream rank, and mine was triple. So I hit triple and I was like, okay, what now? And I never really like kept going. I never really like truly kept dreaming and like passing that next vision for myself. And I got really complacent with my business because I was triple diamond, and I was like, no, like what I should have done was like, I should have like started working really close with my team to get each one of them to triple diamond, because then everything would have been okay. But I just kind of got complacent, and I was like, you know what? I have a VIP team. I have some awesome freaking leaders. Let's see what these girls can do. And I just kind of like sat back and I was like, let's see what my team can do. No, you guys, like, I don't care what freaking rank you are. Like, oh my gosh, I wish I could go back and slap myself, honestly. I literally got so complacent, and like, it just makes me sick. It like truly does like make me sick to my stomach thinking about what I did after triple and what I could have done. But like I said, the things that I learned in the last couple months really just kind of showed me like, what's the word I'm looking for? It just kind of showed me like what to do, I guess. So just kind of teaching you guys what not to do. After you promote, pull out the next chart. I don't care if you're not charted, it doesn't matter. Get charted. And just work with the people on your team. Like these people have goals. These people have dreams. Like something that I do now is like, my team's wise. Like I have my main leaders, and then the girls that I'm working super closely with, their whys are on sticky notes. I have like these sticky notes that are like super cool, and they like go like that because it just makes me really happy. So I have a color up on my wall, and they just like kind of hang down, but every single one of them is a girl on my team's why. And like whenever I'm just like, oh my god, like I don't want to do this, I can like look over to my dream board and I'm like, yeah, but like I really want that paycheck, and like I really want like Danny to go buy her Kia Telluride, like different things like that constantly keep me motivated and inspired, because like your team is going to follow you. So if you are not doing anything, your team is going to start not doing anything. That makes sense? If you're not working, your team's going to stop working. There we go. I can't talk. But I feel like that was just like one of the biggest things that I learned in the last couple months was just to really work with your team. And like, if you are not dreaming, you have to start. Rewrite your why. Get a new dream board. I cannot tell you guys how many freaking dream boards I have. My lock screen just says like, you are presidential diamond and $20,000 a month. Y'all won't be able to see that because there's like apps and stuff, but like my home screen, I guess, like the wallpaper that's back here, it has my dream car, my dream paycheck, my dream house, which may not be Carrie Young's house. It's not weird, I promise. And it basically just has like my goals, like this is your future. And then it has like sitting on the white couch, having 4 VIPs on my team by the end of the year, being a top 100 income earner, and then investing. And I'm actually really excited because I am officially investing now. So I can like cross something new off of my dream board, which is super exciting. But I would have never known why investing was important if it wasn't from reading all these books and going on that like money mindset journey. So that really is like kind of the end of it. I've been like looking at the chat. I don't think anyone had any questions. So if you guys do have any last minute questions for any of us, please ask, and we would obviously love to help you guys. But I did just get the notification about the family call. I think they're announcing more things about the incentive trip tonight. I truly think it's going to be in Hawaii. So for all you babes that are coming with, I'll see you there. But yeah, I'm so excited for this next month and these months to come. I don't know. I just feel so much growth and just so much abundance coming. I am just freaking pumped. So no one asked any more questions while that